21 past the hour. Mr. President is speaking, and if you've been listening through some other source, let's join the president now.
The responsibility of improving this union remains the task of us all. Now, our work must begin by making some basic decisions about our budget. Decisions that will have a huge impact on the strength of our recovery. Over the last few years, both parties have worked together to reduce the deficit by more than $2.5 trillion.
Really?
Mostly through spending cuts, but also by raising tax rates on the wealthiest 1% of Americans.
Ooh.
As a result, we are more than halfway towards the goal of $4 trillion in deficit reduction that economists say we need to stabilize our finances. Now we need to finish the job. And the question is, how?
Kill the teabaggers.
In 2011, Congress passed a law saying that if both parties couldn't agree on a plan to reach our deficit goal, about $1 trillion worth of budget cuts would automatically go into effect this year.
That would be the
These sudden,
sequester.
harsh, arbitrary cuts would jeopardize our military readiness. They devastate priorities like education, energy, and medical research.
But it's a Republican thing.
They would certainly slow our recovery and cost us hundreds of thousands of jobs. And that's why Democrats, Republicans, business leaders, and economists have already said that these cuts, known here in Washington as the sequester, are a really bad idea. Now, some in Congress have proposed preventing only the defense cuts.
Boner's starting to go into
by
withdrawal.
Making even bigger cuts to things like education and job training.
Oh, no.
Medicare and Social Security benefits.
Need a drink, John?
That idea is even worse.
Or two. All right, where's my bottle? God damn it, I had it right here in front of me. Where's my bottle?
Yes, the biggest driver of our long-term debt is the rising cost of health care for an aging population.
If you're watching on television...
And those of us who care deeply about programs like Medicare must embrace the need for modest reforms.
Look at Biden and Boner's ties.
Our retirement programs
what is this?
will crowd out the investments we need for our children.
Pastel
and jeopardize
night.
the promise of a secure retirement for future generations. But we can't ask senior citizens and working families to shoulder the entire burden of deficit reduction.
Why not?
We're asking nothing more from the wealthiest and the most powerful.
Oh, yes, we can. Oh, yes, we can.
We won't grow the middle class simply by shifting the cost of health care or college onto families that are already struggling.
But it's
or
fun.
By forcing communities to lay off more teachers and more cops and more firefighters.
Yeah.
Most Americans, Democrats, Republicans, and independents, understand that we can't just cut our way to prosperity.
No.
They know that broad-based economic growth requires a balanced approach to deficit reduction.
Republicans don't know that.
With spending cuts and revenue, and with everybody doing their fair share. And that's the approach I offer tonight. On Medicare, I'm prepared to enact reforms that will achieve the same amount of health care savings by the beginning of the next decade as the reforms proposed by the bipartisan Simpson-Bowles Commission.
Boner's ready to go to sleep already. Look at him.
Already, the Affordable Care Act is helping to slow the growth of health care costs. And the reforms I'm proposing go even further. We'll reduce taxpayer subsidies to prescription drug companies and ask more from the wealthiest seniors.
Yeah.
We'll bring down costs by changing the way our government pays for Medicare, because our medical bills shouldn't be based on the number of tests ordered or days spent in the hospital. They should be based on the quality of care that our seniors receive.
Put it down a minute, Kathy. I just, the camera's panning around to some of these people. Tom Coburn, the camera was just on him. I don't know, on MSNBC anyway. Coburn looks like somebody that just came in from a 6-month goat hunting trip or something. This is, I would prefer not to to cover this in its entirety and just do some sound bites tomorrow, but apparently we are committed to doing it. We have a break coming up here, and
to hit the rest of our deficit reduction
when we come back, we'll pick up on this. I'm trying to figure out who Obama's talking to. There's not a Republican or a right winger or a teabagger in America who's paying any attention to this at all. The Democrats are half asleep. I don't know who Obama's talking to. Do you? Do you have any idea?
How is that fair?
Oh, well.
Why isn't it deficit
We'll come back
reduction
to it after the break.
It's a big emergency, justifying making cuts in Social Security benefits, but not closing some loopholes. How does that promote growth? Now is our best chance for bipartisan, comprehensive tax reform that encourages job creation and helps bring down the deficit.